And we're here now with John Rochester from the Lambda Literary Organization, talking a little bit about a very cool event that they're getting started for the first time ever here in Santa Fe, that's bringing in some really nationally well-known figures and is going to be really, I think, a landmark literary event here in the city of Santa Fe. John, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So tell us a little more about the history behind Lambda Literary. What is the organization's mission and how did it come about?
So Lambda Literary has been around for a long time, actually, since the mid to late 80s was when it was actually established as a not-for-profit. It's a California not-for-profit organization. And their mission, the mission of Lambda Literary, is really to promote and preserve LGBTQ literature as part of the overall culture for the gay community in general. And it basically has a ton of different programs in order to do that. Everything from the Lammy Awards, which it's most famous for, which are kind of like the Emmys except for gay writing.
Got it.
And also a writers conference, which occurs every summer in LA. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So they're coming to Santa Fe, and we're doing the first annual Lambda Literary Authors Series.
We are.
Hopefully not the last annual, but
we hope
we'd
not.
love to see a cool event like this come back year after year and really become part of the cultural scene, I think, here in Santa Fe. Who's coming into town for the event, and tell us about the panelists that you've put together.
Actually, the event was organized. Lambda's trying to get back into providing services within the country itself, besides just the coastal cities. And so they chose Santa Fe because of its association with literature, which is pretty obvious through other foundations in town. So they organized this event to be hosted here in Santa Fe, hoping that it would be popular enough with the community to be able to make it an annual event. So our fingers are crossed.
Got it.
They're bringing in 3 major authors and an incredible editor-publisher to come and speak and read from their books and have a discussion about their work, their lives, anything and everything. It's kind of up in the open.
Sure.
Yeah. So
start with Justin Torres and tell us a little about him and who he is and who the other folks are.
Sure. Justin Torres is actually incredible. It's his first novel this year that he put out. It's called We the Animals, and it's fiction that's beyond belief. He was on the New York Times bestseller list for 5.5 months, and with the first book, that's incredible.
Yeah.
He happens also to be a Lambda Fellow, which means that he did this book in development in our writers' conference in California. In addition to him, we also have Ana Castillo, who's coming into town, who happens to be a New Mexico native.
Excellent.
And she is the #1 Latina author in the country right now. Just over the top, incredible. A lot of her stuff has stuff to do with LGBTQ, but not all of it. And to have the opportunity to have that caliber of person come into Santa Fe for this lecture is unbelievable. And then last but certainly not least on the actual authors panel is a gentleman by the name of Andrew Holleran. And Andrew was at the forefront of writing novels and historical novels specifically about the post-AIDS epidemic on the East Coast.
Got it.
Everybody had thought that the AIDS epidemic was a West Coast kind of disease back early in those years, and Andrew was at the forefront of really exposing that this was also an East Coast disease, and he's most famous for what he wrote surrounding Washington, D.C. and the AIDS epidemic during that period.
Got it. Okay.
Very similar to what you would see with Angels in America and the plays associated with that. He was the forefront there, and he continues to write to this day and is super well published. And then our moderator, Amy Shoulder, is a very well-known publisher and editor. She's founded a couple of different publishing companies, most famous of which is Feminist Press, which is
well known.
Yeah, so to bring in somebody at that level as well to actually be the moderator, to hold these discussions and to encourage what's going on at this event is amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing to have that caliber come here to Santa Fe.
How much are tickets for the general public?
So the general public tickets are really inexpensive. That was one of the things that Lambda really tried to do with this, is they received underwriting from Morgan Stanley, the National Diversity Unit from Morgan Stanley in New York to present this here. And so that's enabling them to actually provide the tickets to the public at $25 a person.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
There are VIP tickets available for sponsorships to help cover some of the costs.
Sure, what does that
$150.
So $150, but what do you get with that?
So that includes seating at the very, very front of the theater, obviously, so preferred seating, as well as an after party where the authors and the moderator and sponsors of the organization and board members and executives from Lambda Literary rather, will all be in town and celebrating together after the performance.
Fantastic. So this is
Yeah.
October 25th. What time and where? And
October 25th at the Armory for the Arts Theater, and it's 7 o'clock.
got it. Where's the after party going to be?
So the after party is graciously sponsored by Louis Moscow at
Okay.
315 Restaurant and Wine Bar.
Excellent. That'll
Yeah.
be fantastic.
It's going to
Something
be
to
over the
look forward
top.
to then.
Yeah.
Good food, great authors, incredible literary figures, all coming into Santa Fe for what I hope will be a milestone and a landmark event. Where do people go to get the tickets?
So they have a couple of different options. The easiest option is to actually go to the Santa Fe Performing Arts website. That website is sfperformingarts.org, and they can purchase the tickets directly through that. It's right on the front page, the home page of the organization, and you can go straight to buy tickets. And as well, if you'd rather not buy the tickets online for whatever reason, you're welcome to call their box office at 984-1370.
984-1370. Got it. Thanks. So this is October 25th at the Armory.
The Armory Theater. Yep.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, of
and
course.
Thanks
No.
for having us on.
We're happy to highlight it, and we hope we get a great turnout. I know I'm looking forward to it, and a lot of folks around the city have been talking about it as well. So I think we'll have a good one, and
I hope so.
We'll see you again next year.
All right.
All right. Keep us up to date. Let us
Thank
know
you
how
so
it
much.
goes, and good luck.